creativity and innovation in public service. That is to say that I have one or two things to share with you as someone who had been in public service like you are, and someone who have also been in private practice. Maybe some of you are. And especially someone who has decided that I need to do this because I love it, to share knowledge. All right, creativity and innovation in public service. I'd like to start with this. A reasonable man. Okay, no, this is wow. All right. A reasonable man adapts himself to the world, and the unreasonable one insists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. This is a quote from George Bernard Shaw, Man and Superman. Why am I opening the workshop with this? Is because what topic we are going to be looking at involves reasonableness. And to let us know that if we find ourselves in an environment, an office, where there are more unreasonable people, it means that those are the set of people who want the world to adapt to them. They want the world to behave like them. They want the world to be under the same limitations that they themselves are experiencing. But a reasonable man is a man with an open mind, a man or woman who is open to new ideas and to new things. And for this morning, for the next 1.5 hours before we share the case study, what we are going to do is going through the processes of what most of us are reasonable people. But the truth is, if you have unreasonable persons in your team, it tends to limit how fast you can go. That's why I use this to start. Now, this topic, which speaks to creativity and innovation in public service, I'd like to start by saying a forward-looking leader, that's a reasonable person who is forward-looking with an open mind, must do 3 things. If you're forward-looking, if you have an open mind, you must do 3 things. Number 1 is manage the present. You must be able to manage today. Today is like an open check. You can insert how much you want to draw out of today because it's an open check, an open opportunity that God has given to every man equal. If you say today, you won't get angry. You say today, you will have to get the best of today. You say today, you are going to be your best. Indeed, you are right, you're going to be your best. But if you allow circumstances and situations like, one, someone gets you angry, someone crosses your path, someone, as you were driving in, someone scratches your car, and you want to give it back to the person in the way the person has acted unreasonably, you will find that you will be shifted from your positivity onto a negative stance. Are we getting something? So, a reasonable man, a forward-looking leader must, one, manage today, manage the present, which is an open check. That's number 1. You're going to manage it, prepare to manage it in such a way that you get the best out of it. After all, God has made this day for you and I, and he has loaded it with benefit. Why will I lose the benefit that God has loaded today? Number two, for a forward-looking leader or a reasonable person, is to selectively forget the past. The past could be yesterday, the past could be last week, the past could be last month, the past could be last year, the past could be last years. Selectively forget the past. That is, there are certain things that you regret. There are certain things that are not forward looking. There are certain things that have set me back. I will selectively forget those things that have set me back. I've made mistakes, errors, wastages. I will need to forget those ones. There are experiences that are extremely negative. I will need to forget those ones so I can move on and take advantage of today. And while taking advantage of today, the reasonable man will do the next thing, which is the third one. Create or design a desired future. So if you do this for yourself as a person, and you do this for your immediate environment, then you are open-minded to get the best, because it begins with me, it begins with you. Right? You will not allow a negative person, you will not allow your unreasonable colleague to so affect you that what you decided to do with yourself, by yourself, you begin to adapt to them. Then you are allowing the unreasonableness of that third party to affect you. So, a forward-looking leader will do three things: manage the present. Second, selectively forget the past. And three, create the future. And this future you are creating, it must align with what you yourself have prayed to your God, or you look forward, or you have planned, and you have said, these are the set of things I'm going to achieve, I'm going to do for this year, or for this level I am in. Now, I'd like to say something here with an example. Think of the football match. Think of a full team. Think of 2 or 3 very skilled footballers. No matter how they dribble, no matter how skilled they are, no matter how they display professionalism, if their display, skillful performance is not in line with the goal of the entire team, they will just be like local singular champions. And what benefit will it be if they so succeed in dribbling and their team did not win the match? So for a forward-looking leader, the thing you must think is to align your desires, your plans, to align them to the plans and the objective or goals of your organization. So if your organization has a plan, your organization has KPIs, your organization has things that have been set out for you at your level or the leadership position you occupy to achieve. Your own first discipline is to make sure that I want to exceed myself. I want to exceed, I want to excel. And in this excelling, apart from my personal desires, I must align to the goals and objectives of the organization. Otherwise, you will look like those dribblers in a football game, a football team, and yet you are not primed to achieve the goals of your team. So this topic, which is creativity and innovation in public service, will do the following. It will introduce us to what is called public entrepreneurship. Introduce us to creativity and innovation in public service. Introduce us to dimensions of ideation. Ideation, creativity, innovation, they come like a spark of thought, a spark of light. Ideation, creativity, and innovation can start from simple you noticing a problem and you desire to make a change to bring solution to that problem, to that situation. Ideation can begin from just you meditating and you thinking, this is what I like to do, how do I get along with it? So this is going to show you dimensions of ideation, dimensions of creativity, dimensions of innovation. They are linked, and they have meanings that sometimes are interchangeable. Then, when we are done with this, we will look at change through the strategic thinking process. Strategic thinking process has got something very unique about it. Strategic thinking process has got something very unique about it. It's not just ordinary thinking. Strategic thinking is a deep thinking, and deep thinking is to think from all manners. Some of us think we have structured thinking. Some of us have professional thinking. Some of us have spiritual thinking. Some of us have only physical thinking, right? But strategic thinking is all manner of thinking. Strategic thinking is, a lot of people have made us to think inside the box, outside the box, right? But deep thinking, strategic thinking process makes you to think like someone who had no box. Hello? There is critical thinking. Besides critical thinking, there is analytical thinking. Besides analytical thinking, there is a thinking process that takes you to what is called complicated thinking. And there's a level of thinking that is deeper than that. All of these are levels of thinking, but until the combination bring you to the point where you think wild, you think like there are no borders. I'll give you an example why you should think that way. There is what is called immediate environment, outside environment. There's what is called professional environment. There's what is called trade environment. Right? There's what is called geographical environment. There's what is called political environment. There is what technology can do to your thinking. Because if what you are thinking, if the solution you want to bring will cut across, and you know that whatever happens in the United States of America might affect Nigeria or Africa technologically, then you have to think beyond Nigeria, beyond Africa, and everywhere in the world. Because what might happen to certain shares, for instance, NVIDIA, a technological IT company, what might happen to its shares, what product it brings to the world. If you're thinking about IT and you're not reconciling yourself to think that something might happen to make what you are doing irrelevant or make what you are doing so limited, then you have to think wide beyond your state, your location, wide and wide. So that is what we call, strategic thinking. I will share with us some of the things that will guide us in thinking that way. And lastly, for this program, for this period, if there is time and you are willing and obedient, we'll take a case study of NIPOST, Nigerian Postal Service. The NIPOST in Port Harcourt in Rivers State is just behind this building. I've taken time to bring it out as something we can look at as a case study. If you are going to be a creative thinker, if you are going to be an innovator from where you are, if you're going to be a strategic person, leader, then you must know how to analyze certain things and come up with certain critical success factors. If we look at the case study of NIPOST, comparing NIPOST to GIG, for instance, which is a private organization in the same postal and courier business, and we think about the Singapore Post, which is another one, or the South African Post. If we have an analysis of all of these, and we look at what NIPOST is today, we can design a better future for NIPOST. Similarly, you can do same for any situation and for any organization and for any assignment. All right. Look at this. We're all familiar with the African elephant. Okay, even if it's not African elephant, we're all familiar with an elephant. Any of us not familiar with an elephant? Any of us not familiar with an elephant? At least even if you have not seen one, you know there is one. You've seen the pictures. Can an elephant dance? As huge as the elephant is as an animal, can it dance? Talk to me, please. Just lift your hand and say something. It can dance. It can dance. It can dance. Oh, good. Anyone with contrary view? Anyone who says or who thinks or has read that an elephant cannot dance? All right. Whether you believe or you know that an elephant can dance, or you believe and you know that an elephant cannot dance, you're correct. That's the way we do strategy. If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, oh yes, you cannot. It depends. An elephant can dance. Good. Let's see how it can dance. When we talk about an elephant dancing, we're drawing comparison between the awkwardness of an elephant dancing and the situation being discussed. If you have a strong situation, you have a very hectic challenge or problem, okay? To turn it around, it's like making an elephant dance. That's the comparison here, okay? Organizations, particularly public service, are like elephants. They are slow to change. Big organizations, they are slow to change. They don't respond very fast. But response has to start from someone whose duty it is and who is the person who is supposed to take an immediate action. So, slow to change, but in life, change is inevitable, and also in business, change is vital. This is true for a non-profit organization like NDDC, as well as for profit organization or private business. Well. Size and strength. Just like an elephant is large and powerful, an active organization might be big, very influential, capable of handling significant challenges. It can be representative of organization's impact and presence in its field. In the field of intervention, where the commission is, the commission is an elephant when we come to the oil-producing areas. Right or wrong? For instance, the MD and the EDs of the commission, they have powers that surpass across 9 states. A governor has powers within the locality of a state. So, the commission is a juggernaut. The commission is Herculean. The commission can be said to be a caterpillar across 9 states. True or false? So the commission has got impact. The commission has got budget. The commission has got strength that crosses 9 states. So the commission can be likened to an elephant, but how do you make the elephant to dance across 9 states? How can the commission, the NDDC, be strong, impactful, with its size, become positively strong and impactful, touching lives across 9 states, making the difference, as the slogan is? It can be likened to how you will make an elephant to dance. Because making an elephant to dance takes skill. Making an elephant to dance is not about making the elephant to lose its strength. It's making the elephant to be flexible, responsive. It's making the elephant to take on new idea, making the elephant to listen so you can bend the elephant's character. Are we getting something? All right. A steady progress The elephant has strength. The elephant is huge. But the elephant continues to make progress in its field. Hello? Now, elephants are known for their steady, deliberate movement. This could symbolize an organization that moves forward with purpose. I know NDDC, I know the commission moves with purpose. So make difference. Okay? Making gradual but consistent progress towards its goals and objectives. And if you remember, when I started, I said to us that a forward-looking leader, a forward-looking person, a reasonable person must align his or her goals to that of the organization that they serve. So we must be forward-looking, open-minded, and align our personal goals for progress, our personal goals for KPIs to that which the organization wants to achieve. I said about dribbler in a football team, I said 2-3 persons can be best players. They can be so good, so professional and skillful, but when it comes to scoring goals, without the coordination and the integration of other team members, they may be said to, these guys can play, but their team no win. So you can be the best from your field, the best from your leadership cadre, but if the commission does not win, it could be frustrating. If the project you are handling does not have a success, it could be frustrating. You are not fulfilled. That's what we're saying, because leadership is about influence, and positive influence that takes you towards the destination in alignment with the purpose for which the commission was set. How do you make an elephant dance? The next one is long memory. Elephants are famous for their long memories. An active organization might similarly be strategic and learned from its past experiences to avoiding repeating mistakes and a strong culture. I put it to you, I have experienced the commission while I was in service. The commission has strong culture. The commission had gone through several plans. And I heard recently that the development plan, the strategic plan of the commission had been reviewed. Now, there are strong cultures, the culture of intervening into communities that have crisis. Like when there was a massive flood, the commission's executive did not wait to say this goes to the 9 states across. The commission selects to intervene in areas where crises are highest. Not so, where issues are worse, like the East-West Road and all of that. And when there's oil spill, or there are fires and all those kind of stuff, or there is health challenge, the commission, designates action plan, design action plans, and those are executed. Why am I saying this? It's because of the culture of intervention. Okay? But there are mistakes, there are errors, there are challenges about the past that a forward-looking leader can take into consideration. Like I said, selectively forget the past. And you can selectively take the negative experiences of the past to design a better future. I give you an example. I don't know whether it still happens now. Before I retired, the budget of the commission was always being manipulated, strangulated, and myopic when it comes out, because the National Assembly members will twist it and want to make it what they will benefit more from than what the communities will benefit from. I don't know if that still happens. I know it used to happen in the past, but I've retired for 2 years. I don't know whether it still happens, and nobody is saying anything. I told you. I told you. Some of the reasons why the executive of each tenure in the commission are not able to do things as speedily as they want to is because of interference and because of manipulation political from the upper chambers from Abuja. Now, there is the National Assembly, there is presidency, there is the traditional rulers, there are political men or juggernauts who appointed these people. There are several other layers of, including the palace boys, who impress, who bring very serious, severe pressure upon the executive. A man may be a man so clean and so admirable, but the moment he's appointed to that seat, some of the pressures will make the man crack. There are very few MDs who have been sensitive to staff welfare. I know it. From the period that I was in the commission up to when I resigned, Timi Alaibe was exemplary. I hear the current MD is doing a good job. But because I've been retired and I no longer get alert, so I don't know how to verify that. Anyone to verify that? Okay, so you clap for the current executive. If you're not clapping well, it means your alert did not really come. But if you're clapping, I know the current executive is doing a good job. All right. Okay. So, elephants has a social, complex social structure. Just like the commission. Elephants are social creatures operating in herds with defined roles. An organization could be described as an active